without further ado, Kim, you come and do your thing.
It is so good to see everybody here today. I'm so proud of this. I'm just busting. I feel like a little mama. I wanted to introduce, actually the area governor for District 7690. Well, don't put me near a computer. I'm not that savvy on that. But I want to introduce Debbie Scott, her other half Russell, with us today. So we're honored to have you here with us. But Debbie was born in Orlando, Florida, and graduated from the University of Florida. And I don't know that much about this stuff, but you're supposed to do something like this. Okay. She moved to North Carolina in 2018, and she's a member of the Jonesboro Sanford Rotary Club. Debbie's been in Rotary since January of 1995 and has had perfect attendance since the day she joined. So that's pretty amazing. Debbie's a major donor, a Paul Harris Society member, Bequest Society member, and a faculty member of the Rotary Leadership Institute. Has held many different positions in Rotary. She was Rookie of the Year in 1995, I'm sorry, to club president, assistant governor, district governor, district treasurer, district foundation annual giving chair, and she received the citation for meritorious service, and now she is our R7690 district governor. She's a member of the Jonesboro Sanford Club and is a realtor at Sanford. In her spare time, she enjoys being with her grandsons and her family. She loves being outdoors. She likes to ride motorcycles. She likes to go to drag races, and she likes to watch Hallmark Christmas movies. Now, that's a very well-rounded person, if you ask me. And I'm so honored to have you come to our club today. Debbie Scott.
Somebody's having a party.
Yeah,
We can hear that party.
Let's see. I don't know how to do it. I'm not sure how to do that.
3 little dots in the upper right corner of the picture. Did I give you that option?
Nope. Gives me a lot of options, but not mute. Yep. Oh, I got it. It doesn't give me that option for that one person. Do this. Sorry, Debbie.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I was sitting here. They were having a good party. I could hear them. Thank you. Thank you. It is really great to be here. You all are one of our top clubs in the district. I told your leadership at our board meeting, you are a bright shining star in our district, in this area. You give other clubs in this area an opportunity to look up to you. I want to thank Kim. She's an amazing district governor. This is her 3rd year, so she's looking for her replacement. And I don't know how we're going to replace her. As you all know, she does a lot for this club. I also want to thank you. You've had 2 past district governors from this club. Now, I know neither one of them are here. I still want to recognize them. You've got Bob Sprinkles from 7677, and you've got Wes Patterson, and he was 2010, 2011. It's those past district governors who have made this district the amazing district that it is. When I go to zone, when I go anywhere, when I say I'm District 7690, they already have thought highly of this district. Our past district governors are amazing, and they give such amazing advice and support. And you all have that with this club and your leadership to continue to give advice and support. So I think I'm going to be talking and singing David Williams' song today. Are you a Rotarian? What? She's talking to a Rotary Club. Is she crazy? Well, all of us are members of Rotary International because somebody thought highly enough of us to ask us to join this amazing organization. But sad to say, some stay rhinos. Who's heard that term? I'm glad we don't hear it very much anymore. Those of you that have not heard it, it's Rotary in name only. They haven't had that opportunity to have their Rotary moment or their Rotary story. They have not been able to have the opportunity to believe in the magic of Rotary. And that's my theme, because I believe that what we do, the service work that we do, is the magic. As Rotarians, we see issues, we see problems in our community, in the world, and we just make it disappear. Some of you have heard my story at some of the training, and I will say I saved you because my training, I usually come from the back of the room and I'm hooting and hollering. I decided that maybe for my speech I should stay put. In the 80s, I was a Rotary Ann. Who knows what a Rotary Ann is? That was the spouse of a Rotarian, because in the 80s, we still didn't have women yet in Rotary. I did the fundraising projects, I did the service projects, and I sat back in awe of this amazing organization, and I wanted so much to be part of this organization. The closest that I could be was be involved as a Rotarian. Well, I was at a conference in the mid-80s, and I heard a speaker say Rotary International was taking on the challenge of eradicating polio. Wow! I cannot tell you all the emotions that was going through me at that moment. This is very personal to me. My grandmother was a polio survivor. She contracted polio in her 20s, and she didn't like to talk about it much, but every now and then as I got a little older, she would tell me she lost many friends. They didn't make it. And she would always say how blessed and fortunate she was that she only had a mild case. And when I was sitting there, that was my first Rotary moment. I wasn't a Rotarian, but I still had that Rotary moment. Again, I'm just in awe of this amazing organization and what they were willing to take on. And I will tell you all, I can imagine, I do believe that we will eradicate polio. I know some of y'all probably have heard we've got a case in New York now. And basically we're already boots on the ground. They're already checking the water sources because the money that we give is not just for vaccinations. People think that. And a couple of years ago, I had somebody actually look at me and say, you know, I'm really over this. I was the wrong person to say that to. And I looked them in the eyes and I said, we will be over this when we're done. We made a promise to the children of the world and we will finish. We will. And you will be part of the only non-profit, non-governmental organization. So all the other organizations are government organizations. And you will be part of history. When I was asked to join Rotary in 1995, I felt a little sorry for my sponsor, because when she asked me, I just about tackled her because she did not know my Rotary story. And she learned really quick because I was so excited and I'm jumping up and down and I'm like, thank you. I have wanted to be a Rotarian for years. She's like, wow, this is the easiest it's ever been bringing a new member in. This girl was on fire for Rotary. I loved Rotary then. I love Rotary now and who we are and what we do. I was a Paul Harris Fellow my first year in honor of my grandmother. I was Rookie Rotarian of the Year in a club of 285 members, Gainesville, Florida. I was president in 5 years. I was on fire for Rotary. The 2002-2003 Rotary International President, Bichai Radical, he told his story. And I was amazed to hear his story from a Rotary International president, because you would kind of think that they probably always were a Rotarian. Well, he tells the story that he used to make fun of his Rotarian friends. He didn't think much of Rotary. He said he told them, you're just a bunch of guys getting together, because this was in the 50s, having lunch, just having a reason to get together. His father didn't think much of Rotary either. Well, there was a gentleman in the only club in Thailand who was friends with his father, and he asked his father, would you please join the second club that I'm chartering in Thailand? Well, out of respect to his friend, but his father did not want to be a Rotarian. And here's Bichai's words. He was forced. Mind you, this is a Rotary International president saying he was forced to become a Rotarian. His father forced him because his father did not want to do it. Now, I'm sure that that gentleman knew that neither one of them thought too much about Rotary. And he gave Bichai a quote. Bichai tells the story that this quote from George Bernard Shaw, life is not a brief candle. It is a splendid torch that needs to be burnt brightly before we hand it on to our future generations. That quote and that gentleman, Bichai said, changed his life forever. He tells the story that he was a very selfish man, a man who had no idea and no understanding that giving is grace and not giving is disgrace. He said it made him a responsible citizen. It made him want to do and bring as much joy to as many people as he could. And he was going to hold his torch up high and hold it bright. In 2007, 2008, I was in Michigan, and a Rotarian in my club, his wife, his teenage son, and Rachel O'Neill, his wife's friend, went on a mission trip, amazing for her 50th birthday, to Malawi, to an orphanage. And they were going because we were going to do a grant for this orphanage. And they were going to find, what they needed. And they came back, obviously with a long list of not wants, but critical needs. But they also came back with the knowledge of the difficulties in Malawi. And the little girls, that weighed heavy on their hearts because they're kind of on the bottom of the rung. They're not really thought about much. Lots of little girls running around with no shirts on. And it just was weighing heavy on their hearts. And they wanted to do something when we sent all of that stuff over to Malawi. Well, what they came up with, so what is this? A pillowcase, very simple pillowcase. We've all got them. Thrift stores have tons of them. This is what we did. You've got flyers, little dresses for Africa. Rachel, a year later, incorporated an organization, the Little Dresses for Africa. Now, our goal was 1,000. We only had a couple months. We kind of got all the churches going. We reached our goal of 1,000. And I'll give you an update. When I called Rachel and was talking to her and told her I was going to incorporate this in my speech, she told me since 2008, they are at 10 million little dresses. One person, heartfelt, really those two ladies, wanted to do something different, wanted to make a difference. And now they have sent 10 million little dresses in over 97 countries. Y'all are my 14th club to talk to, and I've already had 2 people tell me that their church does this. People all over are doing this. It's a very simple project. She told me she gets boxes of these little dresses, has no idea, didn't know they were coming in. It just comes in. She says they just put it aside, and the next container that goes out, it goes with it. I talked about polio. You know, there was one man in the Philippines who was tired of the scourge of polio in his communities. And he did a district grant, did the immunizations, and they eradicated polio in the Philippines. Again, that's that one person with a passion. We can do anything if we want to. Sometimes it doesn't take much to affect the lives of others. When we as Rotarians live by our 4-way test and we hold that torch as high as we can and let it be as bright as it can be, our future generations are watching and learning. My daughter, only child, her father was a Rotarian, her mother was a Rotarian. She was about this big, going to all the fundraising projects. I'm sure many of y'all have children like that, service projects. She grew up in Rotary. She was the youngest member of my Florida District 6970 at the age of 22. She had her master's in accounting. The next year, she was treasurer of that club. That girl is on fire for Rotary. She was the executive director for RILA in that district for 15 years. Needless to say, I don't know, she probably could tell the story that I kind of forced her to do our RILA in June. Because she has that fire and that passion for our youth and for RILA. And I hope if you haven't had your students speak, I hope you do. Because they tell great stories. And they had an amazing time. My grandson, last July, he was 9, gonna be 10 in October. So he comes to me and he says, Mama, I know you buy presents early and I don't want you to buy me any presents for my birthday. Of course, like I'm perking up. He goes, I just want you to give me money. Now we all know our teenagers, they're asking for money, but I'm like, what's a 9-year-old gonna do? Well, he was doing that, watching and listening. Our church works with Falcon Children's Home and Family Services in Falcon, which is just outside of Fayetteville. They've been around for 110 years. They give homes to children, for whatever reason, may not be able to be in a regular home setting. Now, the good thing is that sometimes they do get to go home. Sometimes they don't. Well, they were doing a new home on the campus, a new boys' home. So my 9-year-old is hearing this, hearing it at church, hearing it at home, and they have a big old Amazon wish list. So he tells me he's like, Mama, I'm so blessed. We got so many toys. I have so many toys. I don't need anything. So he raised from all the grandparents $500. You know what that 9-year-old said to me? Mama, that's not enough. That's not enough. Is he already a Rotarian or what? Isn't that what we say? The needs are always so great out there and we always need to do more. So his mom says, okay. So you know on Facebook, they do the flip the pages, they don't speak. He wrote on there who he was, what he was doing, put it out on Facebook. Well, immediately somebody does the ice bucket challenge. Says, I'll give you $100. You do the ice bucket challenge. And he's looking at his mom, what's that? And she says, tell him you'll do it. Well, guess what? He also challenged mom and dad after Noah said yes. That 9-year-old, in just a little over a month, raised $2,400. He is a Rotarian. He just can't join Rotary yet. The smiles on his face when he was going through that Amazon list, unbelievable. And you know what he bought? Sheets, blankets, towels. When he got to the bedspreads, he had like 3 different kinds. So he bought some of each one. Now remember, he's 9 years old. I'm like, Noah, why are you not buying the same thing? Well, everybody doesn't want the same bedspread. Wow, he's processing all this amazing stuff at 9. His face, priceless when we delivered it. Because of privacy and COVID, he could not meet any of these children. And he still had the biggest smile. This is my Rotary story. These are a few of my Rotary moments. I love Rotary. I am a Rotarian. And I am going to stay committed to hold my Rotary torch as high as I can and have it burn as bright as I can. And I guess be as loud as I can sometimes. Rotary International President Jennifer Jones, she challenges us that the world deserves our best. She says, we as Rotarians, we wake up every day knowing that we can make a difference every single day. This is why I'm a Rotarian and why I'll be a Rotarian till the day I die. And if you are not sure, if you have not had your Rotary moment or your Rotary story, look for it. This club does so much that it isn't far to look to have a Rotary moment or Rotary story. And I challenge you, if you don't have your Rotary moment or your Rotary story, definitely find it. Thank you.